Anaheim Hills is a beautiful place to live in. Some people want to live here. Some people who want to live here cannot afford it. And some people may have a reason not to move out here. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 pros and 3 cons about living or moving to Anaheim Hills, California. So let's get to it. But before I do that, I wanted to let you know that I took an online survey of mostly Anaheim residents, Anaheim Hills residents, and asked them what are the pros and cons of living in Anaheim Hills. And these are the top 3 pros and top 3 cons from the survey. So it's not necessarily my opinion, but it's the opinion of residents of Anaheim Hills. So here we go. Number 1 on the list, why they moved to Anaheim Hills or why they love living in Anaheim Hills is because of the greenery and the hillside that Anaheim Hills has to offer. As you can see, I am in the Oak Canyon Nature Center right now, and it's surrounded by the greenery. Not only does Anaheim Hills offer this Oak Canyon Nature Center, it has a lot of greeneries and hills and trails, but it offers a lot of hilly areas. If you drive around, and I've got some clips coming up, you can see a lot of greenery. It just rained last couple of months, so it's even greener right now at this time of the year, and spring is even greener. So it's a really nice place to live with the greenery and the mountain views and the hills. That's the number 1 thing that they like about Anaheim Hills. The number 1 con, or the number 1 thing they don't like about Anaheim Hills, is the fire and the wind. I combined it together. That's what the survey said. So I've been here 25 years myself, and I've been evicted twice from my house due to fire. And yes, there is fire in Anaheim Hills, but it's very rare. In the last 25 years, I've only seen 3 or 4 major fires in Anaheim Hills. The second thing that goes with con number 1 is the wind. In fact, today is a pretty windy day. It's very windy today. As you can see, I took this video a couple of weeks ago in my backyard, and it was very windy. So in this area, in Orange County area, we have what we call the Santa Ana winds. And when they come in, it could be anywhere from 10, 20, 30, 40 miles per hour, and it does get windy. So yes, it does get windy, and there is fire to look at, but it's one of the things that Anaheim Hills has to offer. While you're watching this video, I wanted to take a quick moment and thank you for watching my video and visiting my YouTube channel. If you can subscribe to my channel and hit the alert button, I would really appreciate it, as I put out a weekly video about things about Anaheim Hills and real estate. The second pro about Anaheim Hills is what people said is that they feel like they belong to a nice community of Anaheim Hills. The people are very friendly, there's great people, there's all kinds of people, high income, low income, all kinds of ethnicity. So one of the things they like about Anaheim Hills is the community feeling that they have about Anaheim Hills and living in Anaheim Hills. Con number 2, is there such a thing? Yes, con number 2 is the traffic congestion, because Anaheim Hills is located right next to the 91 freeway, and it's on the border of Riverside County and Orange County. It's the last city going to Riverside County. So the freeway does jam up in the evenings especially, and that affects the internal traffic. So when it comes to traffic, usually the traffic is pretty good overall in Anaheim Hills. It gets a bit very busy in the evenings, especially near the 91 freeway and Imperial Highway and Weir Canyon. All the traffic going 91 east clogs up the internal roads. They use the Santa Ana Canyon Road and Imperial Highway freeway faster. So it does give a little bit problem, and sometimes in the morning going west on 91 gets clogged up with all the Riverside traffic going towards downtown and other parts of Orange County. If you're watching this video and live in Anaheim Hills or know about Anaheim Hills, please comment below on what you love most about Anaheim Hills or some of the things that you may not like. I would appreciate your comments, and I'd like to find out for myself what people like or dislike about Anaheim Hills. Pro number 3, what do they like most in Anaheim Hills? Well, it turns out to be hiking and biking. I myself is an avid hiker myself. I've been going hiking right down the street from my house on the Robbers Roost, or what we call the Robbers Peak hiking trail, for years and years, and I go there quite often. So Anaheim Hills offers the Santiago Hills. There's hiking trails right here in the Oak Canyon Nature Center. There's about 5 or 6 trails you can go up and down. Easy hikes, mile hikes. On Santiago Hills, there are some strenuous hikes. So if you love hiking and biking, this is a place to be. It's right in our city, not too far, and the scenes are very scenic. They're hilly, and if you like exercise, you can also exercise while you're biking and hiking. So con number 3, one of the things that Anaheim Hills does not offer is great restaurants. Yes, they have restaurants, and I go to these restaurants, smaller restaurants. There's Thai restaurants, Chinese restaurants, American restaurants, Italian restaurants, but they're not what we call the 5-star restaurants or 4-star restaurants where you can go out for dining on an occasion. So there is a shortage of fine dining in Anaheim Hills. We have to go to Brea or Irvine or LA just to have fine dining. One thing about Anaheim Hills is we could use some more great restaurants. Last year, I made a detailed video about the pros and cons of living in Anaheim Hills. So you may want to watch this. I will have a link at the end of this video.